Yeah, we are back in Skate, and this is a little intro I'm filming after the fact because the video went in a bit of an unusual direction. I originally planned on doing a video on the block party update thing that's going on over this weekend. I'll get into that more when I get into the actual video. But then after that I joined one of Milky's servers because he happened to be online when I was filming, which is pretty rare. And I found myself having a lot more fun goofing around in his server than I did playing the actual block party. So it's kind of like an interesting contrast in what the game forces versus more natural player-based weirdness that goes on like this. So it's kind of an interesting thing. We'll maybe get into it a bit more in the video, so let's go. Here we are back in Skate, and for 4 days only we've got block parties, kind of a special event that's going on just this weekend. By the time I post this, there'll probably be 3 days left, so if you do see it, you'll have plenty of time to give it a go. A quick look at what it's about. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure. A roaming mass player event. It's part of meetups. It basically seems like it gathers a bunch of people together and you do like a competition style thing with different rounds to it. Seamless entry, scheduled intervals, it happens every 30 minutes. Dynamic city roaming, objectives, leaderboard. So I'm guessing it's going to be kind of point centric, which goes against the type of thing I do. But I figured I'd check it out at the very least because honestly, when we're looking at all the games and what's going on recently, it's kind of dead. So any kind of update in anything is going to get me having a look at it at the very least. You usually get a notification when it happens, but you'll see this big green thing on the map. It happens to be at Rolling Waves as well, so that's maybe a good place to do it. And just in terms of like getting a bunch of people together to skate, it's maybe kind of nice. Recently, I don't know how many people watch Milky streams. If you add him as a friend, and when he's doing his streams, join his party, or join his server at the very least. It's usually packed with people skating the same thing, and it actually makes it kind of a lot more interesting rather than just solo skating, because there's people doing all sorts of weird stuff. Just makes it a little bit more entertaining, and it's an experience that you don't really get anywhere else, because BMX Streets certainly doesn't have a decent multiplayer presence. Like, you're lucky to find 2 or 3 people, to be honest. I'm fully aware this event's probably not going to be to my taste, but still, it's something to experience. It's kind of ironic that Milky's been doing all these kind of get-togethers, mega servers, or I can't remember what he calls them, and then suddenly the game thinks, yeah, that's a good idea, let's do that. And then Milky's been blocked and all this other weird drama's been going on. It's kind of been interesting to watch all that go down. Maybe watch Milky's live streams if you ever get the chance. It's pretty fun watching him skate around. And just in terms of games as a whole, there's not a lot to look forward to right now, right? Skate's getting its updates. It seems like the next Season 5 thing for Skate is going to be fairly significant. There's going to be new areas and parks. That was another thing I got from Milky's live stream. Some guy was like leaking stuff which looked pretty legit. So maybe a promising season, but we'll have to wait and see because, you know, it's Skate. And monetization and all that other nonsense is going to be prime. BMX Streets, God knows what's going on with that. Session, we haven't really heard anything about a new update. There's another game which is coming out later in the year, which I can't really talk about, but that's very promising, but I can only really talk about it when it comes out. I'll leave that to your imagination. Honestly, yeah, it's a bit of a dead period right now. I suppose it's the summer, so people go outside a lot. But for me, I'm in the Japanese summer, which means it's absolutely awful, and I stay inside more than I do any other season. I've just got to cope with it, really. And through all that yapping, we've finally got to the event. Total trick score, great. I'll try to minimize my saltiness when it comes to, I don't know, talking about how this will go down. Because I'm guessing it's just going to be trick liners, trick spammers, whatever you want to call them. They're all very specific on the way they like to be named. It's not trick lining, it's score maximizing or something. And I actually hate doing that sort of stuff, so I don't know if I'm going to bother. I don't know. Let's try it once. If they keep doing score-based challenges, I'm just gonna not bother, I think. don't know, I just never found this very exciting to do, to be honest. Great. I'll probably have to fast forward some of this as well, because it's going to be more or less the same thing over and over, maybe. Total ollies near skaters, that's exciting. If you're not English, you may misunderstand how I say that. I think I'm actually excited. I'm not excited about this prospect. It doesn't say mini ollies. I'm too scared to try, so let's just... Come on. Oh, I fucked it now, haven't I? Fascinating. Glad I turned up for this. I don't know. If you're into kind of the scoring, kind of more multiplayer, sweaty aspect, it's probably going to be the most fun you've ever had in your life. I'm just aware that this isn't my way of doing things. And I guess a lot of people on my channel as well, maybe have a similar vibe. Screw it, we're pushing just to get more height, even though it looks like crap. The ironic thing is, I actually play a fair bit of skate. I go to the X Games Park and just sort of go around the street section a lot and have a great time. Oh wow, I actually got third. It's interesting because I'm complete shit. Okay, now I've got to move. This is actually more interesting than the actual event. Like having a group of people all cruising through the city, going somewhere. Do you know how they have those like local events in a city or something, like BMX or skateboarding, and you just see footage of a whole group of people flooding down the street? It's kind of a nice vibe. Except I don't really see anybody else at the minute. So while we're waiting, what is everybody playing right now? More people been moving to skate just because it's some source of entertainment? Or are you still hard against it? You're playing streets? Feels like nobody really plays streets except crazy hardcore people at this point. And now I'm not paying attention to what's going on. I guess for these you need to get your multiplier ready, right? To stand a chance. Yeah, bollocks to this one, I can't be arsed. Just gonna do what I want. It's usually more fun. Usually, anyway. Well, I think there's not much chance of me getting in the top 3 for this one. I guess that just means going up and down this. I'm aware I'm sounding more and more tired. Which kind of makes sense. This may be a one-off for me. More than something I actively do a lot of. It's good. So I think I bollocksed it up straight away. Yeah, like, without a multiplier, I guess you're not really getting anywhere doing this one. Because how are you getting 14,000? I guess you're just doing a trick on the object and then spamming a load of nonsense after, right? It's probably the only way to do it. So essentially, if you want to stand a chance of getting in the top 3 for this, you've got to be one of those sort of trick liner types, I think. I don't know, it has its place. If you're that sort of person, then this is probably your dream come true. Now we're moving somewhere else. Honestly, I'd almost want them to do this sort of thing, but without all the challenges in between. Just like saying to everybody, get in this one spot. This is where everybody's gathering for like 30 minutes. Just let people naturally gather, put down objects, do weird stuff. So it can be a bit more concentrated, but without the need to do all this sort of like mini challenges and things in between. Oh, we've got another trick score one, haven't we? Oh wow. Somehow I'm in 3rd, even though I'm not really trying very hard. And the person in 1st has 100 points. Compared to my 55. So clearly that's the king of the sweaty multiplayer beasts, I guess. I love how they've set up a power slide challenge on one of the flattest parts of the map. It's always a good idea. Okay, so I came... Did I finish 3rd? Oh, God. Near the seagulls. Oh, no. I think my time's up. Is there something for being in the top 3 in this? Hate that life has come to this, to be honest. Wow, I actually came... And that was a task as well, to come in the top 3. I think it's safe to say I'm never going to do that again. You know it's bad if somebody like me manages to get 3rd. Maybe it's a good sign, because if you're like one of the people that does all that scoring stuff properly, you'll be absolutely fine when it comes to this sort of stuff. Because I don't know anything about scoring. You may have noticed I don't even have my score thing on. It's how little I pay attention to score. Honestly, I kind of want to go back to the X Games thing, have a bit of a quick street session. And that's about it, to be honest. I was hoping this would be slightly more exciting as an event. But I guess that's not the case. Actually, I lied. I saw Milky and there's another guy called Bleach who's also often in Milky's streams. And yeah, if you join their party, it's usually pretty hard to join, but once you get in, you leave the party and then you're part of their server. You'll just find like a bunch of stuff everywhere. Sometimes it's more, well, like skatable. This time it's just a bit of a goofy thing. Like, who knows what this is? Who knows what that guy's doing? But still, it kind of makes things a bit more interesting. If you're just in for like a fun little session, it's worth joining up with people who have something going on. You at least get to see something unusual for a change. Like in one session, Milky was on one of these roofs. A bunch of people put stuff down. I basically made like a impromptu skate park. It was actually really fun to skate as well. No idea what that is. Be interesting if these could be like physics-based objects, but I'm guessing that's far too much for this game to ask. It's not really made for that sort of thing. There's tons of potential for like weird stuff you could do with this if you actually like got it figured out. And this is why I kind of prefer this to the actual block parties. Is that what it's called? That event that I just did anyway. Because that's very forced and score-based and everything, whereas this is just a bit more natural and goofy. Also means you can get pretty nice thumbnails as well. This just kind of highlights the difference between maybe the type of thing Skate is pushing, like the devs, or EA or whatever, versus kind of the more organic stuff which is possible. Honestly, I find the organic, that's impressive, the organic thing a lot more interesting, because you never know what you're going to see. And it's really something EA should push harder, because it probably lead to a lot more organic, interesting situations. It's like, look at this, it's just simply a ledge, but the fact that there's a ton of people skating around it, there's weird stuff going on, it just feels completely different. I'm not actually sure if Milky's still around. Is that Milky? Yeah, it is. Yeah. He goes under the name Milky for the most part when he's doing his live streams. He's been on like 10 hours. A ridiculous amount. Like, I joined the server in the night, my time. Went to bed, woke up, and he was still streaming. So he's definitely putting the hours in. So my recommendation, especially if you're not into competing and scoring and all that kind of thing, find, or maybe add Milky as a friend and just log in if he's around, because presumably you'll be in America or the UK where it's a lot easier to find him than it is for me. Join one of his mega servers. Just keep trying to like join his party. People keep joining and then exiting. It takes a little while, but once you get in, you're in his bigger server. And then you get to see stuff like this happening. There he is. Still skating, so I'm guessing he's streaming. Maybe check out his stream later on. So honestly, that's about it. I'm guessing this stream that Milky's doing is probably dying down, because he's been on forever. So I'll maybe try and film a video when something's like really kicking off, like a proper skate park or something. That may be a bit more interesting. I'm also curious about Season 5. It seems like it may be somewhat significant. It's still all rumours right now, so we don't really know for sure. That's about it. I also had a message about a new BMX Streets map, which may get me back into the game a little bit. I've been kind of... what was that? Looking for a decent map to kind of inspire me, and struggling recently. We've also got Street Dog as well. I don't know, there's stuff to do. Probably be a little bit slower than usual for the next few months. But when something exciting happens, I'll definitely be reporting back. So on that interesting note, I think we'll leave it there. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.